Hello, everybody. Welcome to the June version of Lunch with the Mayor. This is our regularly scheduled version. We had a special one last week with Linda Hinman from Old Settlers, but today I'm very happy to have a special guest, Nikki Keister. Hi, Nikki.
Hi.
Nikki's from Columbia City Connect. We're going to learn a little bit about Columbia City Connect. As always, if you have questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. We will be happy to try to get to those along the way. If you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and just shoot us an email at rdaniel@columbiacity.net or info@columbiacity.net. Either of those work, or you can certainly get on Facebook and give us questions as well that way. So with that, we're going to jump right into the interview here and make it super easy. We'll start with a really quick and easy question for you, which is, tell us about yourself. How did you get to Columbia City Connect, and why are you passionate about downtown?
Okay. Well, I'm Nikki Keister. I was born and raised here in Whitley County at Union Township. I went to school Coessie K through 8, which kind of tells my age.
Yes.
And then graduated from Columbia City High School. But I taught middle school language arts for 11 years, and part of that, I was the NJHS Honor Society sponsor, and I've always really thought how important it is to get involved and give back to community. And so when the opportunity to become involved with Columbia City Connect came, I thought, oh, that would be a fun job, and it is a fun job.
Yeah, and it's a part-time job, right?
It is
part-time. like a lot of these nonprofit type organizations, it's a part-time kind of thing, and but I know you care about that a lot, and as a former Columbia Township Blue Blazer, I'm welcoming you to this program today. Okay, so tell us a little bit. Obviously, Columbia City Connect has been around for a while now, but tell us about it. When was it founded? The purpose of Columbia City Connect. If people are watching today, they have no clue what Columbia City Connect is. Tell them what it is.
Yeah, Columbia City Connect was founded in 2019. It was actually a merger of two other organizations, the Downtown Business Alliance, which started in 2016, and the Columbia City Main Street, which started in 2012. And what they found was a lot of the programs and their goals were kind of overlapping and very similar. So they decided to kind of merge those into one organization, which is Columbia City Connect. So we've only been around since 2019, but in essence, we've been around a lot longer than that. So Columbia City Connect is a 501c3 nonprofit, which means it exists for the benefit of our community. We are a certified Indiana Main Street, and that is part of the National Main Street, or Main Street America. We are one of 1,200 main streets across the United States, looking to strengthen the downtowns.
Okay, so when you say Main Street, that is a network of organizations across the state of Indiana and across the United States.
Yes.
Kind of interacting with my former agency, which is Office of Community and Rural Affairs at the state level. And so there's a lot of connectivity between you guys and lots of other downtown organizations that are all focused on how do we kind of renew, revitalize, bring more focus to the core of our community, right?
Absolutely.
Ultimately, that's really what it's for. So talk about the primary focus areas of Columbia City Connect, because I know there's pillars when it comes to Main Street America and certainly the Main Street organizations as a whole, but talk about what are the primary focus areas of Columbia City Connect.
So as a Main Street, we are focused on the Main Street approach, which is four pillars.
Okay.
And they're around a transformation strategy. A transformation strategy is a really focused program on what is the best way to serve Columbia City.
Okay.
And each of the four things is, the first is design, anything you can touch in your physical area. Economic vitality, which is business retention and business attraction. Promotions, which is the one everybody usually sees the most of, which is how are we bringing people into downtown and organization? How are we making sure that we are leveraging everybody in our community, connecting everybody in our community so we're not duplicating efforts? So locally, what design looks like, it is, we launched a historic tour of our downtown with Indiana Landmarks and Indiana Humanities, also with the Whitley County Historical Museum and WJHS. It's a free tour you can get on your phone, and take a tour of our downtown. It really highlights the story and the architecture in our downtown.
And that's the, what, Districts app?
Yeah,
Can you spell that?
Yeah, DISTRX.
X. Okay, so if you're watching on your smartphone, do this later. But if you're not, if you're watching on your computer or whatever, you can get your phone out, go to Districts with an X on the
With
end.
X, yeah.
Districts, and then download it, and you can actually kind of connect to the Columbia City Connect portion, right?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Very cool. So keep going. I'm sorry I interrupted you, but
No.
so those primary focus areas, you have the 4 pillars. You have, again, a lot of people have that interaction with the downtown festivals, the First Friday, and the things like that you do.
Yeah.
Obviously, you have the Districts app and the historical walk. What else you guys are up to?
Yeah, so the design portion is anything you can touch. We have done bike racks to kind of bring people in, a place to put your bike while you're getting an ice cream or something like that. The other thing is we started Where Are We Wednesdays, which is a really cool thing. Our downtown is on the National Register for Historic Places. That's nationally. So it's a really big deal.
Yes.
So what we are doing is we're taking a small picture, like we're close in on one of our buildings, and then we tell you on Wednesday the little picture, and then by Saturday we reveal it. So it gives you like good chunk of time to try to find this out. And then 2 weeks later we follow that up with the story of the building. Most recently we just did Smith & Sons Funeral Home, which was the home of Simon Peabody.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure you've read this, but Simon Peabody split wood as a kid to support his family, and he made himself this titan of business. He ended up playing golf with the Rockefellers. Like, he is a self-made man.
Yeah.
And it was right here in Columbia City
Yes.
that he made his home. So that's
That's
a
so
really
cool.
cool program to kind of get people excited about the design element. Economic vitality, we do business seminars and business hotspots to kind of connect our businesses and connect them to outside resources. Promotions is the one that everybody's usually most
Everyone's
familiar
used to,
with.
yes,
Yeah,
uh-huh.
it is First Fridays, Ladies Night Out, Walk of Trees, Shop Small Saturday, Cabin Fever, these kinds of events that
Yeah.
people will bring people downtown. And then organization is how are we connecting to other organizations and building sustainable programming.
Yeah, I think what's so neat, kind of going to that organizational piece, especially, is that it is that idea where it was multiple groups that came together to really create Columbia City Connect, right? And we had a lot of different things going on, and even before your time, obviously, a lot of things going on where it was like I think individuals were being pulled a little bit one way or another, right? Like. We're going to be with this organization this time and this organization this time and stuff. And so really collaborating together, I think, is a really positive thing. What I think is also really neat about the events that you guys put on. Obviously, everyone knows First Friday, and
Yeah.
we're going to talk about that here in a moment. But that you have these other shopping events throughout the time frame, right? You have the Ladies' Night Out, and you have the Shop Small Saturday, and you have all of these other events kind of along the way. What Cabin Fever's one, and that kind of stuff. So, I mean, ultimately, that really is an opportunity where you can, where Columbia City Connect's goal of enhancing downtown is brought to life. You're bringing customers downtown to the downtown restaurants, to the downtown shops, to get them to remember, hey, we don't have to go to Fort Wayne to shop. We can shop here, right?
Right.
And I think that's really important for our economy. It's important for our small businesses, obviously, and all that kind of stuff. But enough of me blabbering on. So tell me how Columbia City Connects is funded, because, I'm sure people ask that as a nonprofit organization. How is it funded, and if people wanted to support financially, how would they do that?
Right, Columbia City Connect is a 501c3, like we talked about. It is funded through grants, sponsorships from businesses, fundraising events, and from donations by community members. And if anybody would like to donate, you can go to the columbiacityconnect.com, and there's a donate page.
There's a donate page
Little
there.
button.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no, you're good. Columbia City, the city of Columbia City is proud to be a sponsor, obviously. Obviously, we think we take some of our economic development dollars that the city gets and puts it toward Columbia City Connect, because it is an economic driver. It is something that's important for our downtown and important for the small businesses in the downtown. So if you want to be a part of the fundraising piece, feel free to go to, what'd you say it was?
columbiacityconnect.com.
.com. That's an easy one to remember. So, Okay, so let's get to the First Friday because that's what a lot of people obviously know and love. It's something that's really, I mean, it's a hit. It's literally, I think, one of the leaders in Northeast Indiana. So tell me a little bit of why should number one, maybe how did First Fridays come to be, but also why should people experience First Friday?
So First Fridays has been around, I think this is our 7th year. I only came about 3 years ago, so it was there's a lot of history there that I have been a part of. But it was started by volunteers to kind of highlight and showcase the best of Columbia City, and it continues to do that. Yeah. And why should people come down? Because it's a fun time. Yeah. It's fun. It really does highlight the best of our city. We have nonprofits down here telling you about things, getting people involved. We have some young entrepreneurs. We have people in a high school, people younger than high school say, I have this thing I can do, or I see this opportunity. It really is a cool business incubator too, because one of our downtown businesses started as a First Friday vendor. Yeah. Then they became a home-based vendor, and now they are property owners and business owners right here in our downtown. Nice. It is a really cool program. Nice. So, and it's a lot of fun. You can come, listen to music, see some art, visit your friends. It's a really good time. Yeah. Well, you know, it's amazing to me. I know especially these last 2 First Fridays have been off the charts when it comes to people attending. I mean, attendance has been huge these last 2 ones. But I think what's so interesting about the First Friday that a lot of people may not know, a lot of our constituents may not know, is that in some ways we've stolen from our neighbors in that we have people that are coming to Columbia City rather than going to their own hometown First Friday event. And actually, I think I had heard that they've moved. Some of our neighbors have moved their event to not be in conflict with Columbia City's First Friday event, which I think speaks to the success of the program. I mean, one of the great things I have seen that Columbia City Connect has done, and certainly the First Friday Committee, is that there's always something different. It's all like you come to a First Friday. Oh, we just lost our camera. I don't know why, but hopefully we'll get it back. Let's see if I can move it here. There's always something different and unique and creative about it. You have a scenario where you're doing different arts, you're doing different car shows, you're doing different things like that. While you're talking about what's coming up at the next First Friday, I might see if I can maneuver this a little bit. So go ahead. Tell me what's coming up at the next First Friday. Okay, so the next First Friday, yes, we do a lot of different things, and I think that's a testament to the different committee members that we have and the different gifts. We really work to, get everybody involved in our downtown because our community. There we go. There we go. We're back. We're back. Surprise, everybody! We're back. This is live. This is live here. Here we go. Okay. Go ahead. So yes. So what do you guys work? So I'm sorry. One more time. What specifically? What is coming up? I know, again, we talked about arts in August, right? Arts in August, but what's happening this July? It's the Antique, what do you call it? Yeah, it's the Antique. I call it Antique. I don't know what it is. It's the summer fun. It's everything's fun about summer, so we're going to have a street market with antiques and vintage and secondhand. So if you want to sign up, you can. Yes. And we have cornhole tournament. We're going to have yard games on the courthouse lawn and pony rides. It's going to be a good time. Wait. Did you say pony rides? Pony rides. Please, no one tell Little Red that pony rides are going to be happening. No, that's awesome. That is a really cool thing. So, by the way, thank you for pivoting on that as we're trying to get our camera taken care of. Hopefully, we're good to go now. We'll see. I don't know what happened, but nevertheless, let's talk about special projects and events. So, on the horizon, again, you guys are all. It seems like when I talk to you, there's always something new coming. It's not, you don't just say, First Friday is good, right? Or Shop Small Saturday is good. Like, you guys are always thinking about, like, what is the next event? What is the next special project we can work on? So what is any kind of special events or upcoming events or projects that you guys are working on right now? Did I put you on the spot? Yeah, I don't know how much I'm allowed to say. We do have our secret stuff here. Secret stuff. Well, I just don't want to disappoint anybody. But we have, we're finishing out First Friday season. Then we have Ladies Night Out and Walk of Trees and Shop Small, which will finish out the year. And there are a couple things that we're working on, but I'm not sure how much I'm allowed to say. Sneaky stuff. Well, okay, so I do want to ask you one question. This is not on the list, so hopefully I don't throw you too much a curveball. But I know that, again, economic restructuring is one of the pillars, right? Restructuring, right?
So I know one of the things that you guys have done in the past has been to hold workshops or trainings, if you will, for small businesses along the way, right? And so as a part of that, is that something you do like every year, or is that something you've done just in the past, kind of as things come up or as they're needed, or kind of?
It is something that we do throughout the year. We've
Okay.
already had one this year.
Okay.
And we are planning in conjunction with the Whitley County EDC to do
Oh.
more.
Yeah.
So, stay tuned
Yeah.
for those.
Okay. Okay. So maybe, hopefully, I didn't get in too much of an area there that is secret and not able to be told yet. So. Okay, let's see. Is there anything else the public should know about Columbia City Connect and the work that you're doing, or ways they can get involved, not just financially, but if someone really wants to do something to be a part of Columbia City Connect, is there someone should they come talk to you?
Yeah.
How should you if people want to volunteer? How
Okay,
does
yeah.
that happen?
So the thing to know about Columbia City Connect is that we work to create, for our downtown to continue to be a dynamic and welcoming space. And
Yes.
every time you support an initiative or volunteer for an event or participate, just come down to First Fridays,
Yes.
for example, you are part of that dynamic change
Yeah.
that we have. And so to volunteer, you can contact me. I'm Nikki, Niki, at ColumbiaCityConnect.com, or you can go on our website and there's a page and a form that you can fill out to volunteer there.
Very cool, very cool. Again, if you have questions, go ahead and send them now. Nikki we're wrapping up here, but I think one other thing I want to maybe just mention is something that I participated in, that Columbia City Connect does every year, that a lot of people may not know, and that is a downtown cleanup day,
Yes.
and where there's a lot of gloves and shovels and rakes and trash bags and things like that, and lots of volunteers. This year we had a huge amount of volunteers.
Did. Thank you to all of you who came out, but we started with 7,
Okay.
I think, 3 years ago.
Yes.
And it grew to 40 this year.
Yes.
I mean, it is, and I think that's the greatest piece about our community, about Columbia City Connect or Columbia City in general, is that when people see a need, they jump in.
Jump in.
We really do have
Yeah.
wonderful people, and I
Yes.
think that community or downtown cleanup day just really highlights that.
Absolutely, absolutely. One last question I'm going to have. Oh, I'm really putting you on the spot
Oh,
here.
no.
Who makes up the board of Columbia City Connect?
Oh, that's an easy one.
Okay, good,
We
okay.
have a fantastic board. We just have like the all-star team on our board. So Matt Shipman is our president, and Olivia Heinen is our vice president. Shelby Longenbaugh is our secretary.
Okay.
Kevin Jordan is our treasurer. Then we have Kayla. Do you need to know where they work? No.
I don't need to know, but.
Okay, great. Kayla Wygent,
Yeah.
Chip Hill,
Yeah.
Abby Anthony, Hank Workman, and Michelle Slavicek.
Wow. And so what's so neat about that is, and you may or may not know this, but what's so neat about it is the majority of those people have either a downtown storefront, or they're a business owner at some point down here, or they've been involved in downtown in some way, shape, or form. Every one of those people in some way, shape, or form are connected that way, which I think is really, really important for a downtown-centric organization as we kind of move forward. So, again, if you have any questions, let me know. I'm going to scroll through real quick. It looks like there's just one comment. Jeff Walker says, Columbia City Connect has done a great job, so congratulations
Jeff.
on that. Thanks, Jeff. So, again, website one more time so the public knows where to go, ColumbiaCityConnect.com.
You got it.
I remembered it that time. That's really good. And the next First Friday is obviously on the first Friday of July.
It is.
Which ends up being the 5th.
Mhm.
Okay, July 5th coming up here. And one last thing I'll mention, and that is that the September First Friday event is the Movie on the Square that we collaborate on, if you
Yep.
will. And so it's an effort between Columbia City Connect and my office, and we work together to pick out a great movie with the help of our poll that we did online and stuff. I don't know if we haven't announced
I
to
don't
what the
think
movie
so.
is. Maybe there's an exclusive coming up here. So we are happy to say that we selected. I shouldn't say we selected. The people selected based on their vote, and it was fairly close.
It was.
It was fairly
a lot
close.
closer than I thought.
But the first place vote getter was Elemental.
Hooray!
Right?
I feel like
So,
I should have confetti.
So
Woo!
Elemental will be the movie on the square in September, and that will happen right after First Friday ends, although it's kind of a continuation. So First Friday goes from 6 to 9, and then somewhere around that 9 o'clock, 9:10-ish time frame is when we'll actually start moving on the square. And so we're really happy to partner with Columbia City Connect going into the future, as we always have. And anything else you want to tell them?
No, thank you so much
No.
for having me. And
Yeah.
I just want to say thanks to all the volunteers
Yes.
and the board. It really is a grassroots effort. It's a lot of volunteerism. All that work that goes into First Fridays is done by volunteers.
Yes.
And just to say thank you to everybody that helps put that on. It's really awesome to be part of this
Yes.
community.
Thank you, Nikki.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
your time. Okay, so again, check out First Friday coming up July 5th, right? July 5th? Yes, July 5th. So check that out. And again, appreciate Nikki being a part of today's Lunch with the Mayor. So I'm going to jump into past issues, which is a recap of lots of different things. There are a lot of things happening, as you can imagine. And so I'm going to go ahead and try to get to most of those things. So ready to tick off the list. Again, as always, if you have questions, let me know. I will be happy to review those and hopefully answer those. So the first thing I'll talk about is Eagle Park, Phase 1A. The progress, if you've been by Eagle Park recently, which again is the former CCHS property on Whitley Street, a lot of work has been done there. Sidewalk work has been basically done there. We have a lot of concrete that was poured. Stormwater work has been completed in that area. Pickleball courts are getting the asphalt next week. And then I think it has to cure for like 30 days or something like that. But that is moving forward. The skate park construction, just so you're aware, tentatively, we're looking at that probably occurring in October. That really is, that's a tentative date, and that's due to the contractor and their scheduling. So we are, that's a tentative. So again, I'm not 100% sure on that, but that's kind of where we're thinking. So that's the next part of Eagle Park. Again, the swing structure will be coming up there here in the near future, I believe, and we're putting lighting up and some things like that. There's a lot of things happening, let's just say it that way. So that is Eagle Park Phase 1A. Next up is the Next Level Trails grant. This is a grant that we've had for a considerable amount of time, and I think we are finally starting to move forward because this morning I did get approval that our NDOT permit, our Indiana Department of Transportation permit, was approved. So we are now finally able to start moving toward the bidding of the project. Again, that trail will be extended so it'll kind of fix the missing tooth, if you will, between Main Street and Chauncey Street. And so there'll be a connector there, and then it'll go from Line Street all the way down to the county highway garage, down toward the river, back up and across Radio Road, across the river then, through the woods, and to the high school property. So the new high school property. So all three of those schools will be connected with trail. It'll give a safe traffic pattern for those on the west side of Main Street. We're still working on how to connect the east side of Main Street. That is a lot more challenging because of the swooping curve that's there. But we are finally moving forward. I think those permits have been in a pause for, I'm gonna say, I think it's been in a pause state for multiple months, 3 to 4 months probably. So anyway, so we're happy to kind of get that going. Kind of along that line is I have bad news for you all. It's good news, but it's bad news. The good news, the good part of it is that we're going to get a remodeled and expanded sidewalk, if you will, along the bridge on State Road 9. But the bad news is that they are closing Main Street. They being INDOT, the Indiana Department of Transportation, is closing Main Street from Spencer to Hannah Street on, I think, somewhere around July 8th. and they are going to be replacing the bridge decks or something to that effect. They're going to be doing a big construction project on the bridge there on Main Street that would be right near B&J Rental, right near Auto Credit USA, things like that. So that area. So that's a big deal because their closure could be all the way. Their closure could be almost 4.5 months. So I'm telling you now, and we will try to put out any information that Indiana Department of Transportation has, etc. But I wanted to let you know that Main Street is basically going to be closed for multiple months for reconstruction of the bridge over the Blue River. It is going to be a major inconvenience for everybody. I fully recognize that. That is the, it's good from a safety perspective. It's good for a walkability perspective because they will be extending that sidewalk that's along the bridge on the, I guess, northeast side of the road, east side of the road there. But nevertheless, I only say that to say, plan ahead. There's an official detour that INDOT puts out, and that official detour is to go from, basically if you're coming north to south, it would be you take US 30 over to 5, take 5 down to 14, 14 across, reconnect to 9. Obviously, local traffic is not going to do that. So we are asking people locally, if you can please use Line Street to the best of your ability, that would be preferential. There are obviously locals, there's lots of ways around Main Street. But we do ask if you're going on residential streets, please use caution. Please don't drive as fast as you would on Main Street. Please, we will have extra patrols out patrolling the areas. We will have extra patrols making sure that people are on a good speed limit and so on and so forth. So I just wanted to give you a forewarning on that. That is coming soon, very soon, 3 weeks away or so. So be prepared. Main Street will be closed by the Department of Transportation for bridge replacement very, very shortly. 3 weeks. Okay. So I did get a question from Christopher Warwick. On the subject of downtown businesses, several businesses have moved to BE Comics or are closing Chapman's. It may be early, but is anything planned to fill in those open storefronts? On the same subject, is there anything planned to fill in the Farm Credit Services building beside Dairy Queen when they move? So I can't answer all those questions. As you're probably aware, the downtown building owners, the actual building owners, they're the ones that are in charge of refilling those spots. As I understand, the owner of the BE Comics building, there are potential plans there. I don't know what those are, but there are potential plans there. I don't know about the Chapmans, although I think I did read that Chapman's was looking at trying to find another location or something like that. Obviously, the Nook is deciding to retire, and so that'll be an open storefront as well. The open storefront and the hobby shop over on Main Street. There is plans for a new restaurant to be put in there, just so you're aware. I don't know that they've announced anything, so I don't want to steal their thunder, but there are some plans there. So I don't know about the Farm Credit Services building. That project, I'm not sure. It's a beautiful building. I cannot imagine it's going to stay vacant for very long. They just remodeled it, a year or two ago, I think, maybe 3 years ago max. So I don't imagine that building will sit vacant for a long time. Obviously, we have multiple companies that are wanting to move into Columbia City. It's land is a challenge as always. So I would imagine that will be filled very quickly. But we will see kind of where that looks. So where that's going. So Jeff asked the question, since the trail extension is not crossing the railroad on South Line, why would the railroad need to delay improvements to coordinate this project? So actually, yes, Jeff, the trail extension is going to go across on Line Street across the railroad tracks. I think that the plan of action, as I understand right now, regarding that crossing on Line Street, the train crossing or the road crossing, the train track on Line Street, is to handle the Main Street crossing first, and then probably build. I'm not 100% sure on the actual timeline of the trail project, but I think the plan is that after Main Street is reopened, that's when the railroads are supposed to come through and fix it. As you are well aware, Jeff, working with the railroad is a challenge. We continue to have conversations with them. We know we're going to have a crossing there. It's just a matter of getting them to move. So I'm assuming that'll be a part. Well, I know it's a part of the trail project. I just don't know when that's going to take place now that Main Street's going to be shut down for potentially 4.5 months. So that's not a good answer, but that's the answer I got right now. Main Street Detour, what date is that supposed to start? Christopher says that July 8th. July 8th is when the detour is supposed to start for Main Street, because they're supposed to start construction. So Carol Flowers says Chapman's not closing, it's potentially moving. That's what I thought. I thought I saw Chapman's is looking for a new location. So I don't think they're closing, I think they're just moving. No problem, Jeff. So with that, I'm going to keep moving on other projects. Keep your questions coming. I'm happy to answer them, and we will go from there. Okay. So next up is Westgate. Westgate, we have a lot of things happening at Westgate. If you are a resident of Westgate, God bless you, because there is a lot going on there, and I appreciate your patience. Stormwater detention basin is basically complete. Concrete work has kind of begun. Curb sidewalk stuff. They're working on the road right now, getting the road to the right grade. So they're working on that. NIPSCO has finally finished the gas main relocation. Our water department has finished their water line relocation. So I say all that to say we are making a lot of headway, especially on Buddale Drive, Lawrence a little bit as well. Thank you for your patience out there. As we've kind of talked about, by doing this in two-year increments, it allows us the opportunity to not only be able to pave other streets in the city on the off years, but it also gives a rest period for construction. And so with that being said, 2022, we did the eastern portion. 2024, we're doing Buddale and Lawrence. In 2026, we'll be doing the rest of Westgate Avenue, Niles, and Royal Streets there. So that's our plan of action right now on Westgate. So thank you to those out in Westgate that are being very patient with us. Okay. The Pell study, Planning and Environmental Linkage Study with INDOT. Right now, they are working on the Level 3 assessment. I anticipate within the next month or so, month and a half, we will see the Level 3 assessment coming out, much larger segments that we anticipate seeing on that Level 3 assessment, more of a corridor look rather than an individual intersection look, if you will. So propelus30.com, propelus30.com. Take a look at that. You can sign up for alerts. You can look at all the reports that have happened up to this point. You can look at our responses and what responses we've given to INDOT up to this point. So we do anticipate the full study, the full completion of the study, to be done sometime late this year. So I anticipate hopefully by the end of the year we will have a full, complete study that INDOT can then start to really build what the future is going to look like for US 30. And that helps us as a community to plan. It helps businesses to plan on where they're going to locate, what the traffic patterns are going to be, all kinds of things like that. So we are anxiously awaiting INDOT deciding that. Now here's the other thing to keep in mind. Hopefully I'm not talking too far out, but obviously we're going to have a new governor next year. Whether it's a Democrat or Republican or independent, libertarian, whatever, we're going to have a new governor. And as you are probably well aware, every time we get a new governor, sometimes priorities change. And as priorities change, so does funding mechanisms and things like that. So I say all that to say, we know what we know right now with the current government, with the current state government. We know what's being thought of and what's being planned, and we're being interacted with really well. They're asking for our opinions all along the way on this Pell study. So we will see what the new year will bring us in a new governor's administration, a new state administration. But we have widespread support by our legislators, and so I'm really thankful for that along the way. So that's probably enough politics for right now. A couple other updates: sewer project on 100 South. That's in conjunction with the County Redevelopment Commission. It's basically complete. The only thing we're really waiting on is a backup generator. So, for all intents and purposes, it is basically a completed project at this point. Stormwater work is completed at South Chauncey, at Spencer, and Ellsworth. So I think we've gotten everything taken care of there. I think all the sidewalks in. I think all the grass and grass seed and dirt and all that stuff I think has been put back. I think everything's clear away there. I could probably open this window and just go look, but generally speaking, I think we're completely done there. Test kitchen, thank you to all the people that came out for the open house at the test kitchen at the Marshall Building. We did find out there was a lot of people that had interest, and they were really wanting space, and so we are trying to figure out from a planning and programmatic standpoint, trying to figure out how we accommodate those things and make it a viable project and all that kind of great stuff. So we are working on the test kitchen right now. That is something that's kind of important, that would be important long term for us. A couple other things going on. If you have not signed up for the rave notification system, please do that. You can go to our website, columbiacity.net, and just a little bit down from the very top of the page there, you can sign up for rave, R-A-V, rave notifications. So with that, as I've talked about in the past, you can sign up for, if you want to know when the aquatic center is getting at capacity, you can get those alerts. If you want to know when the next common council meeting is, you can get those. If you want to know street closures or utility issues or bills, utility bills coming out, or emergencies, or all those kind of things, you can sign up for each of those individually. So you can choose how many alerts you're getting from the city and on what topics. Okay, so you can sign up not only for text alerts, you can sign up for email alerts. I think there's also even a voice alert system as well if you want to sign up for those. So go to our website, columbiacity.net, sign up for the rave notifications, and if I remember later, I will put this in the comment box of this video. Okay, try and make it even a little easier for you as well. Next limb pickup is the week of July 1st, so that's officially a week and change away now. So make sure you get your limbs out. Again, follow the restrictions on that limb pickup. No root systems. If you've had a tree taken down by a contractor, we don't pick those up. But if you have small pruning projects, if you have branches that have fallen because of wind, things like that, all of those things are you can put at the curb, and we will pick those up again the week of July 1st. At the last Board of Works meeting, Trick or Treat, we determined a date for Trick or Treat that is officially on October 26th from 5 to 8 p.m. Again, as you probably remember, many years ago now, we did a survey of our residents to find out when was the best time. Did they want to have it on a Saturday, on a Friday, on actual Halloween, no matter what day it fell on, etc., and then at what time frame. And it came in pretty overwhelmingly like it being on a Saturday, because as parents, you don't have to rush to get home. It's really pretty much a set date every year, and that the time frame from 5 to 8 allows littles at the beginning and then older kids at the end. So again, October 26th from 5 to 8 p.m. Trick or Treat in the city of Columbia City. We're excited to welcome all the ghosts and goblins around. So, oops, that's not what I meant to do. So we got lots of cool things happening in that regard. I'm struggling technology-wise today. I'm not sure exactly why that is, but we're going to keep moving ahead. Other items that are happening right now, and this is something where we are continuing to do more and more, which is really cool, which is Summer in the City. We have a downtown scavenger hunt that is coming up. Let's see, I think it's next weekend, not this weekend, but the following weekend. Let me look at that real quick. Yes, I think it's next weekend. So we have scavenger hunt happening. That's a downtown scavenger hunt. Last year we did a scavenger hunt along the trail, I think at Morses Park. This year will be downtown, and we're doing that in a lot of ways in conjunction. A lot of collaboration with Columbia City Connect on a lot of these things. So see the details on our city Facebook page on the downtown scavenger hunt. The city is hiring police officers and dispatchers right now. If you want to try a job in public safety, there are some restrictions for a police officer, but for dispatchers, it's pretty wide open. If you can handle a fairly stressful situation if you don't mind being sitting for long periods of time, answering phones, helping people in their critical time of need. Our dispatchers do all kinds of things, fires and police and weather and utilities after hours and all kinds of things. So if you're interested in dispatch, again, go to columbiacity.net. You can get information for both police and fire on that page under career opportunities. I think that's under the HR list. Starting July 1st, and we've been talking about this for a while now, starting July 1st, we are putting all of our city board and commission meetings, they all will be live streamed on the City of Columbia City Facebook page. So not on this page, but on the City of Columbia City Facebook page. We are going to be live streaming those. We will also be putting them up on YouTube afterwards. So again, this is a increasing transparency. But even on top of that, there is a new state law that came out that I think by next year we have to do this. We're trying to get ahead of the curve there. So, Redevelopment Commission, Tree Board, Housing Authority, I know I'm missing some here, Arts Commission. So we're collaborating also with our county friends that do the Board of Zoning Appeals and the Plan Commission. Both of those meetings currently are kind of streamed on the county's page. In some way, shape, or form, they have a side page, if you will, that you can go look at the BZA or Plan Commission. Those are streamed live. But we will be also putting those up on YouTube after the conclusion of those as well. So we're going to try to boost our YouTube page with lots and lots of videos. Hopefully you'll be able to find them fairly easy. We'll eventually obviously start putting them in groups like we have on my mayor's page and on the city page for board and council, things like that. Obviously board and council will continue on as well. So check out the newest City Scene newsletter. That is on our website again, columbiacity.net. You can look at that and just see what's going on in the city, what kind of events are coming up, as well as maybe some tips and tricks from our department heads. I will tell you, my article in this last newsletter is about city government and kind of the reason why we have some distinct advantages to the federal and state level, and specifically how much more accessible we are compared to our friends elsewhere. And this, obviously, doing lunch with the mayor is a part of that as well. So on that note, if you have more questions, send them my way. So last thing I'll maybe mention is we obviously the former park director was sentenced within the last couple weeks, and it is kind of a closing of a chapter I don't really care to revisit personally. We've made a lot of changes internally since that chapter, but I will tell you that I think there has been some people who have negatively who disagree with the verdict or disagree with the plea agreement. There are others who haven't. There are others who agree, and so there's a lot of divisiveness, if you will, in this issue. I do want to really encourage you to know that we're as the city, we're happy and well, I'll just say we're happy to be able to get paid in full, meaning that we are getting the full amount that was stolen from the city. We're getting that full amount back very shortly, which is good. I think that's a really positive thing. We're going to put those dollars back to work in our park system, which is where it was stolen from. So I feel really good about that part. Individuals who feel very strongly about the verdict and stuff. Again, as you know, a lot of times we, as the city, at the city, we turn over all the evidence, and then it's up to the judge and specifically the prosecutor to make decisions on what that should or shouldn't be. So if you have concerns about those, I would invite you to talk to the prosecutor's office. That is something where they can help you with that. But nevertheless, we are happy that we are going to get paid back in full, and we'll be able to turn those dollars back into the Parks Department, which will again enhance, put the dollars back where it belonged. So understand people have lots of different opinions on it, and it was a frustrating chapter for me. That's probably taking it very mildly, and I'm speaking candidly, but we're happy to be moving forward. We have great park staff that are doing really good things. So that's what I'll say about that. Now, I did see a comment come in kind of related to the park, so let's see what that says. Candy says, can you address the private party that was at the Aquatic Center on Monday of the week? There were 3 charter buses of out-of-towners that didn't leave until 9-ish. Just wondering where they were from and if they were using the facility regularly. Okay, great question. So, to answer your first question, or one of your questions, those charter buses came from Kendallville. So yes, they were out of town, but not far. They came from Kendallville. Secondly, Monday afternoons tend to be a little slower for us. And so I think there was some agreement, if you will. And again, I wasn't necessarily involved in that, but I am aware of it. There was some agreement about being able to potentially rent out the facility. I think that private party wanted to rent it out all day. We say, no, we don't do that. And so I think it was a scenario where they rented it out for basically a half day in the time that is usually the slowest, if you will, for us. With that being said, I don't know about the 9 p.m. I thought it would be over at 7, but I could be wrong about that, so I'm not 100% sure, Candy, on that. I would invite you to talk to our park director, Matt Hayden, about that, because he can probably give you a lot more details about that. I think one of the things that we are working on in our park board especially is trying to figure out what those kind of policies are going forward. I don't know that we have specific policies, so it was a little bit of a let's try it out and see how it goes kind of a thing. I think we learned a lot of lessons from that, as I understand. Again, this is all coming from conversations I've had with our park director. So long story short is that's probably the best I can address the private party, if you will. They did come from Kendallville, and they had scheduled this like a long time in advance, as I understand, but it was a scenario where it was, again, trying to find the least active part, but when it's hot. So I don't know. That's hopefully the best answer. That's the best answer I can give you as of right now. But I know we've learned a lot of lessons from that, and we are adjusting that. But I would encourage you to talk to Matt Hayden, our park director. Okay, a couple things that are coming up. Here's kind of the calendar items. I'm sure there's a lot more that I missed. So if I missed something, thanks, Candy. Which, by the way, Candy, you and I and Randy, we need to get together to chat about Eagle Park anyway. So don't think I forgot about you. I do have you up here. You and I need to chat about Eagle Park. So I didn't forget about you. I think about you every time I drive past you, by the way. So okay, calendar items coming up. June 22nd, Whitley County Amateur Radio, the ARRL Field Day. You may not know this, but during that Saturday of Old Settlers into Sunday, well, Saturday midday into Sunday, so during the parade, during the fair takedown, all that kind of stuff, we have amateur radio operators that have a field day that day, and that field day is something where they're able to contact lots and lots and lots of people from across the country at the very least, and maybe even across into different countries, where they can connect by amateur radio to those individuals. Now, the nice thing about having the ham radio operators available on those days, or on that day specifically, is that it provides an additional layer of security, an additional layer of communication. If for some reason we were to have something bad happen and all of our communications go down, the ham operators, I did it again, doggone it. The ham operators are ones that they make sure that things go correctly. They're able to handle major events. They're able to kind of be the communicator, if you will, that when other radio systems go down, they're able to do that. So I think that's a really cool thing. And we're back. Thank you. I'm going to have to fix this for the next time. But So field day for amateur radio operators are going on from 2 p.m. on the 22nd through 2 p.m. on the 23rd at the fairgrounds. So if you want to go check them out, I'm sure they'd love to show you around. Obviously, June 22nd tomorrow is Old Settlers Day Parade. Start time is 6 p.m. Because of the parade, we shut down the Aquatic Center a little bit early. I think it shuts down at maybe 2 or 3. I think it's 3 on Saturday. So just know that in advance. We do that every single year. And this year it's going to be a little more complicated with lineup because we are working on Eagle Park, which is one of the drives and that kind of stuff. So the parade leaders have just really stressed that this is going to be a little hectic, but that we're going to get through it together. So Old Settlers Day Parade starts at 6 p.m. As normal, the parade route, officially the parade route is from North and Main, so North Street and Main Street intersection all the way down to Ellsworth and Main. So just so you're aware, that is happening. We are anticipating hot weather. There is a slight chance for rain the later in the night you go. And at nighttime on Saturday into Sunday, I think we are supposed to get some rain of some sort and maybe some wind. But just be aware, there is a very slight chance of rain, not very much, not that I would bank on. But anyways, okay, great, excellent. Board of Works City Council, Board of Works and City Council, 5 o'clock for Board of Works, 6 o'clock for City Council, June 25th, next Tuesday. That is obviously, as always, open to the public here in the city, at City Council chambers here on the second floor of City Hall. July 3rd is the Independence Day celebration at Mortius Park. So that is where we have All Gone Blue is going to be the band, and we'll have fireworks, we'll have concessions, lots of different food vendors that'll be there. There's probably, I think there's going to be bounce houses again, all kinds of things. So come down to Mortius Park. However, I have to tell you, just in case, we have not had a lot of rain lately, as you are well aware. If you look out your window and there is grass out there, you will see how dry it is. Multiple years ago, I think in my first term as mayor, I want to say it was maybe 2014 or something like that, we had a major drought issue. And we had to move fireworks back to a fall festival in like September. I am hopeful that we won't have to move fireworks, okay? If we don't get significant rain in the near future, by significant I mean enough that we don't have brown, dried, crispy grass, we're gonna have an issue with fireworks, okay? It is not, I hope that's not the case, okay? I hope that we're good to go on July 3rd like we are normally, but I can't promise that, okay? So I'm just saying, if you're the praying type, pray for rain. I know our farmers are asking you to do that right now as well, but I will tell you that if it continues to be bone dry and hot like this, we're going to have an issue with fireworks because the flammability, I guess. Yeah, something like that. How flammable the grass is could create some major challenges with the fireworks. So I say all that just to say we're planning to go on 3rd of July like normal. We're planning to go fireworks and all that kind of stuff. But if we don't get some measurable rain in the near future, we may have to alter those plans. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I can't in good conscience light off things that go boom and light things on fire when I know that it's very dry and very flammable out there. So that's my 2 cents. We'll see where it goes. Stay tuned to my mayor page and get onto the rave system. Obviously, if anything were to change, we would put that information out. I think there is actually a sign-up list for special events that you can sign up for those special events. I think there's also a park special events as well that you can sign up for that. So that's all I'll say about that for right now. But just know that that is right here in the back of my mind as we're looking forward in the weather. Okay? City Hall is closed on July 4th for Independence Day. July 5th, as talked about earlier, is First Friday in downtown Columbia City. July 12th through the 18th is the Whitley County 4-H Fair. They have all kinds of great things planned for that, I know. So you can go to the Whitley County 4-H Fair page, and they can help you with that. We are hosting it's another Summer in the City event, which is called Taste of the City. And that is a little different than, there used to be another Taste of the City event that happened downtown. It was a one day thing downtown, and but we're doing something a little bit different. Last year we did a similar food focused Summer in the City event. This year we're doing a whole week long Taste of the City event. So you're going to have the opportunity, if you will. We're trying to get lots of restaurants to participate, but they'll have a little bit of a special item or a special something in hopefully all of our downtown restaurants throughout that week, so that you can get a little taste of what they have to offer in our community. So mark your calendars for the week of July 20th. Stick around downtown. Go to some of those restaurants, try some of their special items. This is just a way in which you can kind of savor Columbia City, if you will, but it's a Taste of the City event. I'm really excited about it. And all of the Summer in the City events have been led up by my assistant, Ashley Buckles, and I want to thank her for all of her work on that. More information, by the way, will be coming out on that the closer we get on our city Facebook page, City of Columbia City, and I'll probably share it too. Our Parks Department is hosting a Be Wild event at the Morshes Park Pavilion from 6 to 7 o'clock on July 25th. That event especially is specifically for kind of encountering some wild animals. We have an organization that's going to be bringing some of those wild animals so that you can so you and the kids can see what's going on, see how those animals interact, learn some things about them. This is kind of an expansion of what we do at the park system. This is kind of a brainchild, if you will, of our new park director, Matt Hayden. I'm excited to see how successful it is, and I think there's a lot of growing anticipation for what that could be. So 6 to 7 on July 25th. Mark your calendars down at Morshes Park Pavilion. July 27th is going to be a film and float. We did that last year with Jaws. I don't necessarily know what I don't think I know. You know what, I may know, but I don't know. I don't remember what the actual movie is going to be this year. So film and float, 8 p.m. at the Aquatic Center, July 27th. That's another part of our Summer in the City program this year. Okay. Last call for questions. If you have those, post them now, and I'm going to finish up here, and then we'll get to any additional questions. August 2nd, First Friday in downtown Columbia City from 6 to 9 p.m. That is the Arts of August, as we talked about. And then August 10th is a Family Safety Festival. That's downtown from 9 to noon. That will have lots of different activities for kids to learn how to be safe. I know Ashley has been working really hard to get lots of different people down there. Fire, police, electric, I know there's lots of one. DNR, I think, is going to be down there. We're going to have canines down there. We're going to have all kinds of things down there. Smoke detectors and bike safety and all kinds of things. So anyway, so mark your calendars, August 10th, 9 to noon, downtown. Family Safety Festival will be a great time for everybody. So let's see here. Christopher says, second year for the film and float, Jaws 2. I doubt we're going to do Jaws 2. We're going to need a really, really bigger boat, which, by the way, is not actually, we're going to need a bigger boat. I don't think that's ever actually said in Jaws. Just fun fact for the day. That's that useless knowledge that I have in my head all the time. So, anyways. So that's all I have. That's all the comments I have. I want to thank everybody for tuning in for Lunch with the Mayor. As always, you can contact my office at 260-248-5111. You can email me at rdaniel@columbiacity.net. You can, of course, always go to our Facebook page, City of Columbia City, or Mayor Ryan L. Daniel. You can go to our website, columbiacity.net. Either way, we're excited to continue serving you. Have a very happy, cool summer. Stay cool. There was obviously huge heat temperatures this week, even going into next week, going to be warm. So stay cool. We'll see you at the parade tomorrow night, hopefully. and hope you have a great rest of the summer. Our next lunch with the mayor, I don't even have down, but I know it's in August at some point, so I'll be putting that out here in the very near future. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see you later. Goodbye.